Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the idea of making big changes in your life? Maybe you've thought, I'll start exercising every day, or I'll learn 50 new English words a week, only to give up after a few days. But what if I told you that big changes aren't the solution? The real secret to success lies in the small, seemingly insignificant actions you take every day. That's what Chapter 1 of Atomic Habits is all about, how tiny habits can create a massive impact over time. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why small changes matter more than big ones and how you can start applying this idea to your own life today. Let's dive in. The power of tiny changes. James Clear begins the book with a powerful concept: habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Let me explain. Think about money. When you invest just a little every day, it grows into something big over time. Habits work exactly the same way. Imagine you decide to read for just 10 minutes a day. It might not feel like much in the moment, but after a year, you'll have read several books. On the flip side, bad habits compound too. Eating junk food once doesn't seem like a big deal, but if you do it every day, the negative effects add up. Clear shares a great example to make this idea clearer. Imagine a plane taking off from Los Angeles, headed to New York. If the pilot adjusts the plane's nose by just 3.5 degrees, the plane will end up in Washington, D.C., instead. A small change in direction can completely alter the destination. In the same way, tiny changes in your daily habits, good or bad, can shape the course of your life. I remember when I started learning English, I thought I needed to study for hours every day to improve. But then, I decided to focus on just one small habit, learning 5 words a day. It didn't feel like much, but after a month, I knew 150 new words. That's the power of small, consistent actions. Goals versus systems. Here's another interesting idea from this chapter: goals alone aren't enough. Clear argues that focusing only on your goals can actually hold you back. Why? Because goals give you something to aim for, but they don't tell you how to get there. Instead, you need systems. Let me give you an example. Let's say your goal is to lose 10 kilograms. That's a great target, but what's your system for getting there? Maybe it's exercising for 20 minutes every morning or swapping sugary snacks for fruits. Systems are the daily habits that lead you to your goals. As Clear says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So, focus on creating systems that work, and the results will follow naturally. The 1% rule. Now, let's talk about the 1% rule. Clear explains that if you improve by just 1% every day, you'll be 37 times better by the end of the year. Think about learning English. If you learn just one new word a day, it might not seem like much. But after a year, you'll know 365 words. That's enough to start having basic conversations. On the other hand, if you get just 1% worse every day, you'll find yourself far behind by the end of the year. The lesson? Small improvements, or small neglects, add up over time. Take a moment to reflect. What are the small habits you're practicing every day? Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? Maybe you're spending hours scrolling through social media, or maybe you're dedicating just 10 minutes to reading or exercising. What tiny action can you start today that will shape your future for the better? Why we ignore small habits. Here's a question: why do we often ignore small habits? It's because the results aren't immediate. If you eat one salad, you won't lose weight. If you skip one workout, you won't gain weight. But over time, these small actions determine whether you succeed or fail. Clear calls this the plateau of latent potential. The results of your habits might not show up right away, but they're building up in the background, like water dripping onto a rock. Eventually, they create a breakthrough. So, don't get discouraged if you don't see results right away, trust the process. So, what's the big takeaway from Chapter 1? It's simple, small habits matter. Don't underestimate the power of tiny actions, they're the building blocks of success. Starting today, think about one small habit you can add to your life. Maybe it's reading for 5 minutes, drinking more water, or writing down your goals every morning. Whatever it is, start small and stay consistent. In the next chapter, we'll explore how your habits shape your identity and how becoming the person you want to be starts with tiny, intentional actions. Stay tuned, and let's build better habits together. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments. What's one small habit you're starting today? I'd love to hear your stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.